23 days. 23 days was all it took for you to make me produce another video on you. 23 days after I ended my last Theft King video with the tiniest bit of goodwill I had for you. Gone. That's all it took. And you did it in the most spectacular way I've ever seen. Actively defaming me, Sleep Live, and a few of your prior moderators to an audience of 300,000 people. But what do you mean, Rillo? You were in a chat with somebody who obtained his personal email address. You're clearly guilty. That's the funny part. That's what Theft wants you to believe. That me and all his detractors are just some terrible people that are just day in and day out harassing him. It's blatantly false, and I can prove it quite easily, actually. So quick disclaimer, if you're a Theft King viewer who has no actual intention of listening to me or anyone else who's been shown in Theft King's video, just drop your dislike and leave. I'm not going to argue with people who clearly do not want to hear the full story. The only guilty one here is Underscore and maybe DeBoss, and even then, a decent chunk of information surrounding them was neglected to be given light in Theft King's video. So anyways, where do I begin? Well, today I'm going to be peeling apart Theft King's video, providing my own personal evidence, and end it off with a personal statement to Theft King himself. Let's first start this off by clarifying what this group that doxed Theft King was even for. If you're an average viewer of my content, you're sure to know I have made videos on Theft King, and I often research topics for my videos, sometimes weeks before I make them. So what happened was, after me and Sleep Live finished our latest videos on Theft, we were contacted by a decent amount of people who were or used to be associated with him. They wanted to tell us their experiences with him, so we decided rather than have a bunch of unorganized DM discussions strewn between us, it'd be better if we just made a group chat where we could have all this stuff archived and held together in case we ever decided we'd make a follow-up video on our last one. And considering this video exists, I think it did serve its purpose. Some new people would get added to the group, they'd drop a statement about their experience with theft, some screenshots if they had them, and then they'd just sit around and talk with other people in the chat if they chose to. Now, for some odd reason, on the day of March 26th, Underscore decided he was gonna be a stupid fucker and say he was gonna mess around with Theft's personal email. And it didn't help that another mod, DeBoss42, started actively encouraging it. But when the majority of the chat ended up catching on to this, they were immediately vocal that they were not comfortable with this shit and it was wrong. Big fucking surprise, huh? It's almost like normal people, even if they dislike you, still don't condone fucking doxing or anything close to it. And assuming you saw this shit because I have the info your leaker gave to you, you have been actively fucking dishonest to paint everyone in this chat as some sick fucker who wants to actively hurt you. Hell, even in my videos, I thought it was pretty damn vocal that I wished you to change for the better, but I can now see I was just living in ignorance as I had no idea attempting to get the full story would actually fuck me. With that all clarified, let's go to breaking down his video.
At this point, the group decided to use knowledge of my email to try and intimidate me. Should I send this to his personal email for trolls? Absolutely. Could scare him. There it is, right there. They're trying to scare me. They're trying to intimidate me.
What the fuck you mean we're trying to intimidate? The majority of the people in this group didn't even do or say shit. You just are trying to use guilt by association to make us all look like terrible people when the majority of us even decided to outright disavow this shit and say it was fucked up. Hell, some of the people originally on board with the idea backed out and said it was wrong. Even Underscore, the dumbass who decided to get your email, ended up saying it was too far. And you conveniently decided to leave these out of your video even though I know damn well you knew about it through your leaker. Like, I wouldn't have a problem if you actually focused on the people who did this shit to you and not try to lump us all together when we were all clearly uncomfortable with this shit. Hell, me and Sleep didn't even know about this stuff until we found our asses being put on blast for stuff we literally never did to an audience of 300,000 people. I, nor Sleep, condone the shit Underscore did to you, if that wasn't already obvious. Fucking with your email was messed up. I wouldn't wish this stuff on you nor anybody.
The group is made up of several of my former moderators, as well as some FNAF content creators. In particular, Underscore, but also a creator named Sleep Live. Sleep Live is a Theft King content creator who makes videos about Theft King. Sleep Live is not a creator who I know. I've never seen any of their videos, and I've only spoken to them once, very, very briefly. However, they have continually made videos about me, presumably because they're the only videos they've ever made that have ever gotten any attention. Fine, if people want to make videos about me, that's okay, they're entitled to. I wish they wouldn't, of course, but like, it's their right, I can't stop them. However, this crosses a line. To obtain my personal information, start sharing it around, and using it to intimidate and harass me, that's not acceptable.
Yeah, I agree. Obtaining your personal information and messing with you through it is completely wrong. But you're forgetting one really small detail. What exactly does this have to do with Sleep Live? Like, why do you have him front page in your video thumbnail if you don't even have a single message, screenshot, or anything at all that incriminates him in literally any way? The worst thing you've shown about him through this entire video was him adding Walter White in a thumbnail, and even then, it's debatable if he even knew about your drug addiction in the first place. You are reaching so hard, it hurts. If I didn't have the additional information I'm about to show you, I would have thought this was just basically a big mistake or a screw up on Theft's end. Many probably don't know this, but Theft seems to have this raging hate boner for Sleep Live. The dude's name is literally banned in Theft's server, and Theft, even in a live stream, actively shit on him and was extremely salty about one of his videos.
I hope you banned him, by the way. Sleep Live, this guy Sleep Live who just said that, made a video about me and called it, and he complained, these people complain about me and say my thumbnails are dramatic. They called it Theft King, the greatest threat to the FNAF community. The greatest threat to the FNAF community. What a fucking clown. I was like, wait, people accuse me of having ridiculous clickbaits, and then you come out here with that crazy shit? And the funniest thing is, again, 99% of FNAF fans see that video and they go, who the fuck is Theft King? The fact that you think anyone gives a shit about me enough to watch a video about me is insane. It's like it shows that you're so out of touch, Sleep Live.
So when I saw that Sleep was needlessly thrown in the focus of this video, I had no doubts in my mind that Theft was using this situation as a way to bury Sleep's reputation. Hell, look, he did the same thing with Kane Carter. He made a bunch of shit up, crying about how people were allegedly doing shit to him, but focusing it on his opposition and trying to make them look worse. He's just doing it again, only this time he's smarter and his opposition has, for the most part, a fraction of the reach he does. Being totally fair here, you can take the last statement I said with a grain of salt, as there's nothing that truly 100% confirms it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm nearly dead on accurate.
However, there have been a couple of serious threats, mainly after this video where I revealed that I was Jewish. Wanted, treason and incitement against Jews. Now would probably be a good time to let everyone know that while I am not religious, I was raised in a secular Jewish family and I had a bar mitzvah and stuff, so I'm like totally comfortable talking about this. Since then, I've gotten some threats from actual skinheads, like actual neo-Nazis. I don't know how credible they are, but they do scare me and I do forward them along to the FBI. Again, I don't talk about these things because it just encourages more people to do it. However, I can't sit by and let these people continue to be prominent members of the FNAF community knowing that they did this. Knowing that these people think that it's acceptable to take someone's personal email, share it with people who hate them, and then use it to try and intimidate and harass them. I'm not gonna sit here and take that. It's ironic that this former moderator of mine suggested that I was abusing the system because the only one abusing the system are these people. They stole my video, re-uploaded it, compelled me to take it down, used that to get personal info about me, and are now using that to harass and intimidate me. As I said before, I can't stop anyone from talking about me or making videos about me. However, I'm asking _Sleep Live and anyone else who is in that chat, please leave me alone. I don't know you guys. I don't talk to you guys. I don't want to talk to you guys. I've never done anything to any of you.
Oh, did that age horrendously. With this video, you definitely did do a lot of shit to me, Sleep Live, and everyone else who was vocally uncomfortable with the shit _ and to an extent, DeBoss was doing. You put us on blast to an audience of 300,000 people for something, once again, we never partook in, condoned, or in me and Sleep's case, even knew about. I now have people legitimately thinking I tried to dox you over this guilt by association bullshit you're trying to pull. We did not steal your video, _ did. We did not re-upload it, _ did. We did not use your email obtained from it, _ did. We also did not send you any fucking emails. It was one of those two. You are maliciously framing this incident so uncharitably, it is actually insane. And for what? For the sake of growing your victim mentality.
There's a group of people on Twitter who are just obsessed with me to an unhealthy degree. I recently ran a poll that got over 2,000 responses, and more than half of them said that Theft King was worse than Hitler. Hitler, the man who killed 6 million of my ancestors. This is what we're dealing with here. It's like Theft King derangement syndrome. If you ask these people why they hate Theft King so much, all they can say is that like, oh, he makes controversial drama videos, or He told Kane Carter to burn for eternity.
Look, I was trying to take this video semi-seriously up to this point, but I fucking can't anymore. There is legitimately no way you managed to take your goofy ass who is worse, Hitler or Theft King poll and actually thought that people were going to be serious with their answers. There's no way you actually believe people hate you this much that they think you're worse than Hitler. You are such a fucking victim, it hurts me. It actually hurts me. You're a grown-ass man, literally taking the answers of a who is worse, Hitler or Theft King poll seriously in a video about you being doxxed. What the actual fuck is wrong with you? Genuinely. This video by Theft King is such a crying shame. I cannot believe it actually made it out of scripting. I genuinely wonder if this video was actually scripted, because the amount of times I've seen this man repeat the exact same thing over and over in this video in the span of 9 minutes is ridiculous, to the point where I only had 4 parts to respond to because the rest was literally just straight up filler. The amount of misinformation actually present in this video is actually disgusting and crosses the line. You have no care if the narrative you are forming is correct in literally any single way. You only care about appearing the victim, and that is very blatantly obvious from the past 3 videos I have now made on you. Now, since you probably won't bother to set the narrative straight, I'll do it right here. I, Sleep Live, and all the other moderators in the chat apart from Underscore and DeVos had nothing to do with the leak of your email and the abuse it suffered. None of us have condoned that shit. Theft King, if you are actually watching this video and not just actively ignoring it, and you by chance really did fuck up this badly because you were too impulsive and not because you're a manipulative cunt, I only ask one thing. It's pretty small, actually. I only ask for you, on your YouTube platform, to set the record straight. Admit wrongdoing. Admit you messed up this video, because you very clearly did. Will you do this? Probably not. You've set a pattern that's pretty strong in the last year, that you do not give a shit about any situation being mishandled as long as it doesn't hurt you financially. That's it. So I end this here. Hopefully I don't have to make another video about you in the future. My socials are linked below for anybody who wants to support me in this time. Fuck you, Theft King. Goodbye.